What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Casually Canine. I'm Casey.
And I'm Kate.
And we are so excited to bring you a very special episode, guys. We have a guest special guest in the house.
Giggles.
Our good friend Bethany from Walking Dog Training. Welcome.
Hello.
Yay, you're here.
I love that.
Hello. If anyone knows Bethany, they know that was like completely on brand for you. So I love it.
Yeah. So Bethany is here visiting us for a couple days, and we are having fun.
So much fun.
How are you enjoying the contrast of Orlando weather to this spooky Wisconsin weather?
It's perfect. Like, this is what I think of when I think of Christmas. I just wish there was snow.
Yeah. Well, you'll come back for the snow.
Yeah. I want to come back when it's literal winter.
Okay. Done.
Literal winter. You'll stay for 2 days and be like, peace out, I'm out of here.
I'm done. I'm going to go back to the sunshine.
Yeah. I got to scratch that itch and then I'll be fine.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. Talking about spooky weather.
Happy Halloween. Oh, is that a goblin or a ghost?
A ghost. I was watching on Netflix, I don't know, it was like 2 weeks ago or something. Casey comes up, it was like on a Sunday. That'll be like a movie day sometimes where it's like in the night, I'm going to like put a movie on instead of a show. He comes up and I'm watching Casper the Friendly Ghost.
You were?
I was.
Yeah.
That's
is it
a
on
cartoon,
Netflix right now?
Yes. But it's a real life and cartoon mix. Like the people in it are humans.
I
Actors.
think you'd like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Have you ever seen it?
You had to have seen it.
No, I've never seen it.
What?
No, I've also never seen Charlie Brown, which I think I would like.
Like Charlie Brown
you
Christmas?
Would love
like
Charlie
all
Brown.
that
I
Yeah.
feel like who would she be like? Not Pigpen. You're not.
Do not. Okay, let's start. Hold on. Sidebar.
Yeah.
Kate loves to sabotage me.
Saboteur.
She's
calls
a
me
total saboteur.
No,
She loves to secretly make fun of me and then point out things.
No, it's not secret.
Or be like, hey, Bethany, oh, yeah. You remind me of Piggy the Pigster on or something. Like,
no,
you say
it's
it
not
with a straight
secret.
face.
It's right to your face.
I know, but the way you say it, it's like, this is great. And I'm like, what is...
I say it like it's a
What
compliment.
is she doing?
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and it's a total saboteur moment.
No.
But it's...
No.
I can see when she does it to your eyes go like, Kaylin, you saboteur.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's coming from a place of love.
See, that's what I mean. You say it, and then it's like...
It's like a
But
backhanded
yeah, this
compliment.
is nice.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I've been working on that.
I feel
haven't
like also you
saboteured
would
at
tell me to
all.
like wear something. Oh yeah, okay.
No.
Another sidebar where
The
you had me
pants.
get naked pants.
No. Back
I think we need a little bit of backstory on this
Back
one.
up a second. We went to Lululemon and these leggings they were like gold leggings, and Bethany has really long legs, and these are leggings that would only fit like a long leg person, because I would have had like 5 inches of just like bunched up stuff by the ankle. She put them on and they were kind of like sparkly, which is like her personality, and I'm like her face right now, and I'm like, these look so good on you. So she bought them. And then we went back and we were making reels, and we had a filter on the reel, and they like made the color look skin tone.
The pants disappeared.
So in
Was
the
it
reel-
shocking?
Shocking.
Well, we took like multiple reels and we couldn't quite figure out. And she's like,
that's another
I
thing.
look naked.
Well, and you put on a filter that
That's
was
what I'm
shocking. It was like I wasn't. You basically put a different color on me. Like, it was just wild.
Wasn't it weird how like it affected one of us but not the other?
Yes.
Because like you naturally
That's
have
the
olive.
saboteur part of you.
Oh my gosh.
You
but
looked great and like glowy, and I was like an orange.
Pigpen?
it's Oompa Loompa.
Yes.
A naked Oompa Loompa.
And you were like, this is great. And I'm like, what are you seeing? We're looking at 2 different things. Look at me.
The thing about it though, it's just like the picture you took of me yesterday. We were at the gym and we were doing the leg press machine, and the one that like is you have to like slide the seat back and forth, and I had to go all the way to 1 because I'm super short. Bethany had to go to like 5, so I had it at 1, and she gets in and she's like, oh my gosh, like could barely fit in it because her legs were so long. She
I
goes,
can
get
totally
in
see
here.
you doing that.
And she goes, get in here, I want to take a picture of you. So we took a picture of each of us on it at that, and like
You
she's
took
like,
a picture of you
yeah,
guys?
of each
I'll
other.
show you.
Yeah, we'll show you.
See how different it
Show
would
me.
look.
Yeah. And so we literally take this picture. I'll pull it up while we're talking. And she's like, you look so cute. No, she took the worst
But
angle.
you know, like you see something of someone else and you're like, that looks cute. And they see it.
Thank
and they're
you.
like,
Thank you.
Oh, that filter one. We need to pull that filter up so he can be a judge.
Good. Yeah, we will. We'll find it. And
if you think oranges look great, like oranges, yeah.
Okay. You looked like an orange.
First off, she tells me I look good in this. Like my legs are crunched.
She looks proud. I mean, she looks like she was made for that
you look
machine.
Like you have a lot of like dignity. Like
oh, good.
Exactly.
I look dignified. Hey, that beautiful picture of you, Kate. You look dignified. Best compliment
you look
ever.
Like you're owning the leg press.
I told Bethany she looks a little caught off guard, but I said that she
looked scared.
She looked good too, and that I took a better angle of hers.
Look, I look surprised.
That is totally a face.
It's like
something you would do.
It's like I blacked out. You put me there, and I woke up.
Oh, weird.
You know,
what a concept.
Like I just look scared.
Yeah. Well, we just have so like, even though you call me a saboteur, I'll accept it. It's fine. You keep hanging out with me, so you must not be that.
It's kind of funny.
You must not be that hurt. But we so thoroughly enjoy you visiting. Like, it's so cool that the three of us can just like hang out how we hang out.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel weird at all. And I feel the same way when I come visit you and Bobby. It's just like, just all three friends hanging out, three best friends that anyone ever had. We love it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I never feel like a third wheel or anything. It's
okay, good.
So much fun.
Well, if anyone feels like a third wheel, it's probably Casey.
It's probably me.
But you never feel like that, do you? I assume? Yeah.
No.
I love how your microphone looks so little compared to ours.
You have a teeny tiny microphone.
Yeah, it looks like a birdie size.
Just a teeny tiny microphone, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to adjust my level right now because I think I'm a little lower than you guys.
Oh, bummer.
Don't let that happen.
Bummer.
We're going to be like,
bummer.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is the Bethany and Kate show anyway, so bye.
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm the color person in the back. Just throwing in my 2 cents.
Introduce us, give us a hey, welcome back to Casually Canine, and then just set it and forget it. Me and Bethany have it from here.
Yeah. Perfect. While we're on here though, I did want to ask you a question.
Me, yeah.
Yes, you, because you're our special guest.
Okay.
And I hope it doesn't like catch you off guard or anything, because we were kind of talking about this a couple days ago. And if you're listening to this, if you don't know who Bethany is, go check out Walking Dog Training's Instagram and her website. She's super good at what she does, and we respect you for that. Like, a lot of people respect you for that, for like being Bethany. And we were talking about how, this journey of owning a business and developing yourself throughout the years of doing this. Like, you could have been so many different things, but you stuck to yourself and you stuck to like who you are. Can you just a little bit reflect on like how that was for you? Like, were you tore in other directions? Like, where do I take my business? Or were you just like, go with the flow? I'm going to do what feels comfortable for me.
Well, thank you. First of all, it's so nice, all of that. So when I got into dog training, I was already kind of sharing like stories, and like Bobby would come home and be like, "Oh my God, what did you share today? Like, what story do I need to prepare myself for?"
like they were like shocking or what?
Well, just like,
so vulnerable and like things that like maybe personal.
Yeah. Like maybe other people wouldn't share.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt the most connected to when I would share stuff like that. And so I started. It's so easy to get caught up in comparison as a dog trainer and like wanting to share the same things or stick to what you see other people doing. It feels safer. Yeah. Where I think I've always just wanted to do things differently. And not to say like I didn't copy people to a certain extent. I think you always do when you're starting out. But I just always wanted to do things differently. And I felt like in the beginning, like we were talking about this today, where dog training kind of felt like not a side hustle, but it wasn't like our primary thing. Bobby had his own job, and so for me, it was just kind of like creative freedom to do and say whatever I wanted. I remember even thinking if I shared something, because someone else I was talking to about it, and they were like, "Oh, but what if an owner sees that you've worked with?" And I was like, well, I mean,
it's real. It's like transparent. The one thing, like, to jump in on that is when you say you've always wanted to do things different, like I almost want to kind of contradict you a little bit, because you are doing things different than other trainers, but you are being like super authentic to who you are.
Oh, thank
you. Like,
you
you don't like, that's the thing is like, if people don't know you in person, they might think that you're like Bethany behind Walking Dog Training, but like she's doing this to be different. But I feel like you're doing it to be authentic to you, which is like, you just are different from your approach. And I think that that makes it so also like easy to connect to, even if you are approaching things, whether it's a dog training skill a little bit differently, or how you share your creatives, or the videos that you create. But like any person that has met you, especially like we've gotten this feedback also from our trainer new seminar workshop, is like when people show up, they're like, you guys are so much like how you are on stories. And it's like, yeah, like why would we be any different? But like even how you'll pop on and be like, hi, like that is you. And I think that's the cool thing, is like you're not trying to mute who you are. Did you ever feel like through the process of showing up in stories or building your business, you've ever really done that? Or have you felt like you've always just been super, super true to who you are? Like, have you found yourself like in moments ever kind of like muting yourself a little bit, or like adjusting to feel like for me, I know I had gone through a little bit of like, don't be too much, because like I've not always been told I'm too much. That's not the case, but always like, Kate's the loud one, Kate's the vivacious, she's gonna tell you how it is, she's in your face, you know, stuff like that. So I always remember in the beginning I would try to like dim that down a little bit, but now I'm like, hey, it's me, like take it or leave it. Did you ever go through any of that?
I don't even know if I told you about this. I think I did, but well, I used to do these videos. It was like in the first year of walking dog training, where it would be like me talking to the video, and I'd be very animated and like have different cuts where it's like, meh, and then a plant in front of my face, and like drinking wine.
Yes, I remember those. Yeah.
So I was very lively and on. And I remember one time I went to a dog training seminar. I was actually in Canada, and we won't say names, but at the time, a well-known trainer, and we were all at dinner. And he said to me, he was like, wow, I thought you would be much more outgoing. Like, you're quiet.
Oh.
And he was intimidating to me at the time. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, well, I felt like I had to turn on around other people, kind of like an extension. Because I feel like I'm kind of acting sometimes. If it's a video like that, like on my stories, no, that's more just talking. But if it's an actual like entertaining video, I would amp it up.
Yeah, I get that.
But, you know, I am more introverted, especially when I'm more comfortable.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that you said that, because I also feel like you are a type of person that you almost kind of sometimes remind me of, and again, this is not a saboteur thing, of like kind of like a dog that almost needs to warm up and come out of their shell, because it was probably just that environment of like, that's maybe it wasn't the safest feeling environment for you yet. And so it's like, yeah, you are going to like kind of hold your cards close and stuff, but like your goofy videos, even though yes, of course everything's going to be a little bit more like amplified on video, like some of our common dog owner mistake ones, I like express my face so over the top, but like I would still act like that with like my close friends and stuff. So to me, I'm like, you are very outgoing, but I also do know like you're super introverted. So like it took time to like really experience that side of you, but I get that.
So did that experience like kind of pull you back a little bit, and you're like, oh wait, like, you know, should I be acting like I really want to, or like, how did that affect you? Yeah,
and this is why I always say to other trainers, like, work on your confidence. Like, treat your confidence and doing whatever you need to do during your day as part of your job, because it protects you in those moments. Like, I was really not confident at that time, and I remember it did make me kind of want to hide a little bit, because one of my biggest fears is that someone's going to meet me and be like, whoa, you're like totally fake. And I know I'm not. It's just like, I really want to be true to who I am. And walking dog training is an extension of that. So whenever when I was doing those videos, I kind of did put on my actor hat, but I liked that. It's like, you can be a character. Or I'm still myself, but I'm not always like drinking wine and like being
putting
like,
plants in your face.
You know what? I feel like somebody saying that, it's just, and again, we don't have to say names or who they were, but I feel like that's some people's way of just like making themselves feel better about their own self, or like bringing others down a little bit. And you know, like, I'm glad that you like saw through that and like was able to like bounce back and be stronger and more confident and like be you, because obviously like that's who everybody loves, is you, seeing you. So
I think it's like experiences like that can also be why a lot of people like stop going after their, you know, dreams of running a business, not even just dog trainers, but in general. Or that's why some people might stop going to the gym, because maybe they feel like another person is like, you know, judging them or whatever. So luckily obviously that probably was hard for you, but I'm glad it was a person like you because you were able to push through that versus someone that would potentially have just like, sunk on, which hopefully benefit of the doubt that the person hopefully didn't mean it in like
I don't think he did.
Yeah, in a snarky way whatsoever, but just kind of like I expected that person from the video.
Yes, it was like that.
Yeah, so totally.
But that's where like when you have a sensitivity and of course it like magnifies it. Where to most people it'd be like, no, I'm not like that.
Yeah, you just felt more from it because of an insecurity you were feeling at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's different for me though. Like, and this is just the way that I see it. I don't usually blurt things out like that because that could come off as like, if that person did mean it, like in a, like you're a little different than your videos. Like, I don't know why somebody would say that out loud though.
Well, because you're thoughtful about people's like you're thoughtful about what you say. Not to say you always like overthink things, but he was the kind of person for sure that he didn't really care. I don't think he meant anything by it, but I think he was also not thinking about my feelings.
Yeah.
He was more like, this is how I'm thinking. I'm just going to blurt it out.
I just say what I
I don't care. Yeah.
In that very moment. Yeah. So is that really that was so long ago, so I guess that's pretty cool. Like,
yes.
That you haven't felt, and I'm sure there's moments from time to time of just like, building a business and running a business and always being creative and stuff like that. There's moments of feeling like less into it or less like, motivated, but you've pretty much felt like super true to yourself and confident with that and haven't had any other like moments of feeling like you need to dim yourself.
There was one other time where, because I feel like I went through like a year of comparing to other trainers, feeling like because I've always been honest about this. Dog training is not my favorite thing.
Yeah. And
so I'm just so grateful that I stumbled upon content and that I like doing that. But there was a time when against some other trainers, something happened where someone messaged me and they were like friends. Again, they weren't really well known, I guess, but whatever. But it's like us versus them kind of thing. And I remember him saying to me, if you're going to do that, you're going to be on an island of your own. Like pretty much don't go and
say anything against this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I commented on their post and
just to give like a different perspective.
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I told you about it. But it's like the trainer who I commented on his thing, he commented back like a long response. And then his friend, who's a trainer, we had been messaging. And again, at that time I was feeling insecure. So like anything he would say, I was like, oh yeah, this is great advice. And I remember thinking, because one time he told me you need to toughen up as a trainer. And I was like, oh my God, do I like need to become more of, can I cuss on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
More of an asshole to be a trainer. And I actually contemplated going out and shadowing him out in California because he was talking about starting a shadow program, basically from talking to me and telling me I needed to toughen up. Like, oh, we could start a shadow program. And I remember telling Bobby that, and he was like, what? He was like, no, you're not going to go shadow someone just to become an asshole. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought,
you're not going to learn how to be a dick. Like,
no, I thought
no.
But like when you're talking, well, especially nothing against men. I love men, but it was these older male trainers.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling, I've always I have a great relationship with my dad, but my relationship with my brother, not so much. And I always wanted his validation.
Yeah.
And I think it trickled into these older trainers. And so if I was feeling vulnerable, anything they said, like feedback wise, it was like, yay, this is so awesome. And then
you're telling me I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you tell me I need to toughen up, it's like, oh,
okay.
Geez, yeah.
Yeah, I got to.
And there's some people too, and it's not just, I know we're talking about specifically these couple men right now, these older guys, but like there's a certain aura or energy about people who like have that ability. It could be female or male, whatever it is. And there's something about an energy around that person that you do want to listen a little bit more, and then you like wait,
but why?
No,
like why is that holding weight over any of my feelings, my emotions, my decisions, and things like
where
that?
Your confidence is so important.
It's almost like they have like this, like, I don't know if the ego is the word, and they're just like not afraid to show it. I don't know.
I think they know they have a little bit of that power.
Yeah.
And I think they know it probably feels good to like say something to someone and then be like, oh yeah, thank you so much.
Well,
yeah. When I say jump, you say how high or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and like being influential isn't always necessarily a good thing to be. So like there's a lot of people that can be influential and they're terrible people. Not that these people are, but just, thinking about world things going on and things like that doesn't always hold a ton of value, but it does in those moments, especially for people that are trying to find their way, figure things out and stuff like that. Just to kind of like change gears a little bit. This kind of goes into what we were talking about the other day too, Bethany, and Casey, you were kind of involved in this conversation, but also like, obviously I was talking about earlier how it's been so nice having you here. Like you don't feel like a third wheel or anything like that, but like adult friendships or even like friendships within the dog industry or any industry you're in, and how much like we value obviously our friendship and things like that, but also almost feeling validated the other day that we were both kind of like, we feel like we've become more introverted.
Yes.
And this has nothing to do with dog training, but that's what Casually Canine is for us, as we just talk about life and things like that, is navigating. I'd love to hear kind of your perspective of navigating adult friendships, and like, people will probably see that we're traveling to see each other, and like, why would that friendship be the one we'd put the energy towards when there's people nearby? But I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to feeling kind of awkward through the growing phases of relationships and stuff like that. And we felt so good to kind of know that like us being homebodies and introverts doesn't make us like the not fun friends anymore and stuff like that. So I guess I don't really know like what my question is for that, but is there something that you've kind of like found through, whether it's the dog training world, just your world in general, of how you kind of connect your relationships, of how you are with owners and also friendships and things like that, that makes you want to put your efforts towards those kinds of friendships?
I think because I've had so many times, like even recently, where I felt really guilty that I didn't feel like I was being a good friend, but I also, it felt more like an obligation. Yeah. Like it was something I was supposed to do as a friend.
Yes.
And that's what I value so much about our relationship. It doesn't ever feel like work. It just feels like we're going to talk when we talk. It's not like a box we have to check. Like if you reach out to me, it's not like, oh, now it's my turn to reach out to you. It's, I feel like that whole part of it can kind of get sticky when it starts to feel more like work. Yeah. And I just think I've spent so much of my life where I've done what I thought I was supposed to do, and it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's almost like burnout in friendship zones and relationship zones. And I guess the reason I kind of also want to talk about this is like, I feel like we are in an industry, and I know a lot of people are, but of such burnout, of such like, this is the way that I feel like, just like you talking about, I want to do things differently. Like I've always felt like I've always been different. We've been trying to kind of like create this space, but also just live in the way that we feel super is authentic to us, to hopefully also encourage other trainers to do that in their businesses, to encourage other people to do that in their relationships and friendships, versus feeling like I'm working with this owner, I've seen this trainer do it one way, I should do it that way too.
Yes.
And you are a great key example of like, no, I'm going to do things my way, but then also the way that my owners need it. So that's kind of why I'm like circling it back from like, friendships to dog training world to how we don't just completely get burnt out, is being super authentic to who we are and trusting that process, and also having super clear boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries are really crucial.
Yeah.
Well, I think like for me with, I've always kind of viewed friendships as like validations that you're like you should be a social person. And if you only have like 2 friends, you're a total weirdo. Like that's how I've always viewed it. I always thought like if you
what's wrong with me if I only have a couple close friends or something like that? Yeah.
And just the older I get, the more I feel like, and I'm not like 67, I'm 38, but like, like I just feel really protective of my space and time. And I know what it feels like to feel really good when you hang out with someone. And I know what it feels like to just feel drained. Yeah. And I don't think, for me, I just don't want to do that anymore. So it kind of comes down to just protecting your space and your energy. And there's energy suckers, and it's just like not worth it.
And also being okay with however people respond to your boundaries. Like we are not basically like, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsible for how people respond to boundaries, for how people respond to, engaging in content or any of that kind of stuff. Like how people respond to that is they're allowed to respond that way.
Oh, that's a hard one.
And that's a really hard one to come to terms with, especially in friendships and relationships and stuff like that. Yeah. So you will learn, and every listener that has ever listened to Casually Canine knows that I am not brief. My questions always turn into like me sharing thoughts and then wanting to hear thoughts back. But I just feel like any time that like you and I talk about like adult friendships or building a business as like in a way where it's like also, at the end of the day, we all have to make money. We all have to, but not in a way that is just getting dogs in and out, losing ourselves in the
that's good, losing yourself,
because I've even gotten into my own stuff of like taking on like really challenging dogs back to back or something like that. Like I start to like be a frustrated person because I have to control myself so much of like making sure that I'm showing up for the dogs, not frustrated or something. So then I find myself on a personal level, like with Casey, or even just being in a bad mood. Like I'm just cranky and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, and we talk about this kind of stuff all the time, is you don't work with certain types of dogs. Not that you can't, but you don't want to.
No desire.
Like, no. I'm not interested in separation anxiety cases or really even that like obsessive whiny type dogs, like just not interested. And I think that that's a really hard thing to do in this industry. And especially if you're starting in this industry, is like, we are very service-based, businesses. And that's also why you are doing such different things, is your business is so much more like digitally based, of ebooks and your guides and things like that and courses. So I just think that's really cool that you're super authentic to yourself. You're not changing to appease other people, but you still have this just like thing about you that people can't help but like be drawn to it. And so I think that's
thank you.
One of those things where it's like, you just got to keep on that path.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I feel the same about you.
Thanks. So nice. Casey, compliment us both now.
Yeah.
You guys are both great.
Yay. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So
that's a good conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all over the place, but hey, that's
I have a hard
Canine.
time setting boundaries with friends. No problem with owners.
Yeah.
No problem with strangers, like on the internet or something.
Yeah.
But to me, like, posting a story that might be embarrassing for someone else is not vulnerable to me. Setting a boundary with a friend or having a tough conversation, that to me is one of the most vulnerable things.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just want to go in a ball and hide.
Yeah, and I think it's also just one of those things that it's so much more personal and emotional, and there's history or there's experiences, or they knew you as a different version as well. Like that's another thing that it's like, I've heard before, like, you've changed. I'm like, yeah, I've changed. Like,
yeah.
I've grown. Like I'm 10 years older. Like, there's a lot of things that it's like, those conversations, I'm the same way. Like I've gotten.
You talking like who's saying like I've changed or you've changed? Just like people in general,
like a friend or something. That's what she's saying. Like
that
a
you've
friend
had for a while. Or something.
It's like it's harder to have a boundary and conversation with like a friend that you feel more vulnerable with and stuff like that than like setting a boundary with owners and people on the internet. And I would totally agree with that. It's just like obviously your relationship with like Bobby or something like that. It's the person you're the most comfortable with. So you can probably be a little bit like sharper with a response to him.
Yeah.
And I'll speak for myself on that. But it also is like the weight of a conflict or something with him would feel so much more valuable than like if you had a tiff with someone on the internet, because it's like that is,
sure.
That's your heart there.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with it. It's like boundaries, even though we all always talk about like we need to be better boundary setters and stuff, like there's a reason everyone's saying that, because it's not easy.
No.
And it's not easy. I know still for a lot of people, even like with owners and stuff like that, you and I now are pretty dang good at just like, this is just how it is. And this is the way that we do things. And how you respond to that is okay. But it's much harder with friends for sure, because there's just so many feelings involved there.
Yeah. Well, I think something I've like struggled with recently, I guess, is I want to not force things, but I also don't want to use that as a cop out.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Because it's usually, if it's like, well, I haven't talked to this friend in a while, but is that actually, am I just like not ghosting the person necessarily, but like not doing it because it's uncomfortable to like reach out? And I have this whole thing about rejection. I'm always, I grew up, I was telling you, I'm not gonna say this. If my mom ever listened, she wouldn't, never mind. But like where like phone calls were annoying, or I just always have this thing of, if I reach out, I'm hopeful I'm not annoying the person.
Oh,
like
sure.
my parents do that with me, where they won't tell me if someone has a health scare because they didn't want to annoy me. And it's like, I'm your daughter. Like
I
annoy
need to
me.
know this.
Yeah, it's like not annoying.
Yeah.
But so I have that too, where it's also kind of, that's held me back from reaching out to people sometimes, if I'm worried, like, are they on the same page? But then that's also the most confusing and annoying part of relationships as you get older, I think. It's so easy to overthink things.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it used to be just much easier. I don't know. It's like a very
Well, I think it's
thing.
because also when we were younger, it's like we came out as like a green slate. Yeah, we had our DNA makeup and stuff, but like we didn't come out being concerned about how people felt, or how like we said what we wanted to say. Like think about the things you hear kids and like super old people say. They just say whatever they're like cats. Cats do whatever the hell they want, and they don't care. Like, this is me, I'm gonna do it, and you're mad about it, okay. So I think that it's just like obviously experiences, and also just self-awareness makes you be a little bit more mindful of how you approach things, how you say things, and stuff like that. And I'm sure every single person is like that. And you are also a type of person that, even though you will set boundaries and, you know, have those conversations, like you don't like to hurt people's feelings.
No.
And you don't like yours to be hurt.
No.
So I think that that's also where, when we do things together and stuff, like we balance each other out nicely, because I obviously don't want to like hurt people's feelings, but I do feel like I have slightly tougher skin. I'm just like, meh, like that's okay. And that's just because I'm an empathetic person, but I don't feel like I'm an empath. Would you say you're an empath?
100%.
Yeah. And I'm not. My sister is very much an empath too. So like someone could say this exact same thing to both of us in the exact same approach, and we would take it completely different.
Oh, it's so
and
interesting.
she would take it of like the most like heartfelt or even potentially like hurtful way.
Yeah.
And I would take it as like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's just information. So it's just interesting because, but I also do get very like anxious and vulnerable if I have to have like tougher conversations with, you know, people that do matter, but it's also okay if we have to take different paths or something like that.
Yeah. I'd be curious if anyone else like does this. I feel like I absorb dogs' energies. So that's why with anxious dogs, I'm like, not a nutcase, but I'm like, I get more anxious when I have an anxious dog who's like super whiny, or some whining it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's also why I don't really work with dogs like that.
And I think
'cause
that's
I'm not
super good to be aware of.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, the owner will be happy that you told them no if you're not going to be the right fit for them for that.
Yeah.
Because they'd want to be able to know that, not that you would ever take care of a person's dog, of course you would, but you'd want, you know, the right fit.
Yeah.
And you're
for
super
sure.
honest about it not being the right fit. I don't think have you ever had anyone, like an owner, like try to convince you of like, no, like please take my dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that
And
as
I
well.
actually worked with him.
Like
an
the last
owner-
time you did that, huh?
Well, the owner I did 2 virtual coaching, and she tried to go through a couple of other trainers around me, which there are great trainers who are in Orlando. And she just really connected with me, and she pretty kind of begged me, like her dog has separation anxiety. And also I only do 2 weeks. I have no desire to do more. I just don't. So I was like, I mean, I really liked her. This is where like the owner part is so important, I think. But she talked me into it, and I was like, okay, but just, I don't usually work with separation.
Yeah,
so it's not,
I'm being transparent.
Yeah, like expectations were very clear.
That's important right there. The expectations.
Everything.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, well, yeah, let's do it. I really like you.
Yeah.
Your dog is cute. I'm kind of excited to take pictures of him. So
Yeah. Was this one that ended up being okay?
Yeah, Fitz. Okay. His name is Fitz. Her name is Shannon. She's an amazing owner, and he's a great dog.
Cool. I'm glad.
Yeah, so that's like one time, but
yeah, it works out well.
Very rare that I would do that. Like,
right.
Yeah, but I struggled a lot, and after that I was like, I'm never working with a separation anxiety dog again.
Yeah, you're like, she was, the owner made it worth it, to an extent, but you're also like, I'm good.
Yeah, well, that's one thing too. With you just gotta try stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you learn from making a mistake and be like, oh, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, good. So should we go to our Landon the Bird, closing this thing out?
Yeah. Let's
cool.
See where we're at for...
So
Yeah.
What we do, so first off, again, thanks for jumping on Casually
Thanks
Canine with us.
me.
Yeah. We are super excited that we're able to do this in person. That's just kind of like the vibe we want for our podcast. Like, we love other podcasts that do like more of the interview style and things like that. But you're our first guest because I think we would really only do guests like in person.
Yeah.
So we've really enjoyed having you, obviously, as a friend visiting and colleague and all of that fun stuff. We're probably going to go to a pumpkin patch here shortly. Ooh. So we're recording this on
Nice.
Friday, and you guys are listening to this, or it launched on a Tuesday, Halloween. So Bethany will already be back.
Spooky.
Yeah, back to Florida at this point. But yes, so we end every single podcast with a peeve and highlight of the week. So something that like irked you, or just like, and it can be totally lame, like almost like your rant of the week and a highlight of the week.
And it can be anything.
Okay.
Do you think you could come up with one right now, or do you need a second to think?
No, a pet peeve. I don't like loud breathers.
Okay, but like, did it happen this week?
Yeah, on the airplane.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Tell us.
Just like
the person next to you?
It was actually the row across from us.
Oh my gosh.
Watching
that loud?
like a movie or something.
Oh my
just like
gosh, please imitate
maybe not
them.
like breathing, but more like reactions. And this is also maybe because I'm extremely reactionary. So like I will be like, you know, like I'm easily spooked and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's what triggered it in me. But yeah, just like overly in a space where quiet is nice.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, oh, what?
No.
Whoa.
Like watching a movie or something?
Yeah,
or?
and it kind of sounded like a little
Moany?
a little moany.
No, man or woman.
Do you know,
or-
like, was
Woman.
it like a scary movie, action? Like,
I
could you?
couldn't really
could
tell.
you-
It seemed startling, but it was also confusing.
But they
Zip
were
it,
so loud about it.
Yeah, it was like,
No.
Oh no!
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So, but she was kind of like,
a
heavy
little
breathing.
breathy.
Oh my. Okay.
So maybe that's not heavy breathing. It's just like, well, breathy.
Yeah, breathy. Moany.
Yeah, it was just like, that might be
Yes.
really loud. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Casey, what's your peeve of the week?
My peeve is just like all the rain that we've gotten this week. It's just like really, I don't know. I was telling you guys like before, and I was telling Kate too, like Bethany's been here and every single day has been cloudy, rainy and like kind of dingy. It's been warm at least, which has been nice, but
Warm for us.
yeah, warm. It's been like mid 60s.
Yeah, it's a little sticky.
Yeah, it's really like humid out. So it's just kind of been a little bit of a mood thing, I
Yeah.
guess, for me.
Yeah. My peeve of the week. Which one should I choose? I always have plenty of peeves.
You do?
No, we usually have to like, we kind of feed off of each other. He went with the rain. It's not that the rain was a peeve for me. It was just like, what the heck is up with every single time I have go homes? It's downpouring. Like that is a huge peeve for me because we do so much work outside.
At least
And it's always
it was only the last little portion this time, right?
No, like it was the entire
No.
time we were working on his outside recall stuff, it was raining. And then when we went to Home Depot, it was legitimately downpouring. So luckily he was a little dog. She had to carry and sprint into and then put him down. He was drenched. So it also was kind of one of the
He
worst.
had another bath on.
Oh, like he needed it. So it was honestly kind of like one of the worst dogs to have it, like, because he was like such a wimp about the rain. Like his owner said it too. So it was just kind of like we were all like, oh my gosh. So that's my peeve. It's like not a big deal. We can't help that it rains during them, but literally, I have not had a dry go home in a while.
Oh, wow.
That's my peeve. Yeah. What's your highlight
Yeah.
of the week?
Oh, well, this trip.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like probably all of our highlights is just
Like being in person,
Yeah.
change of routine.
Yeah.
I love my like comfortable bubble of routines and things.
I
Like,
even
getting
just
out
like
of it.
enjoy like having a coffee with you.
Yeah,
Like
in person.
yeah, like I was
Yes.
telling Bethany this yesterday. I was like, I just woke up like really I couldn't sleep anymore. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, like
both mornings.
Yeah, I've been like wide awake, and that is not me. Like it's a bad habit, but I'm a snooze hitter. Like Casey's usually
snooze hitter.
Like Casey's usually getting out of bed before me because he does first outs. But I've been like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this whole time you've been here.
Yeah, the Canva and coffee. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yay. And my additional highlight is us working on some new fun, like different approach for some of our stuff for the trainer and you. The creative stuff's just been really fun.
So excited about that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, talking about just inspiring each other with like content.
Yeah.
It's been fun, and especially like as we're talking about as we're creating content together for the trainer and you and stuff like that. It's been fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
Creative
So again,
brainstorms.
I'm pretty sure that everyone listening already knows who you are, where to find you. But if they do not, can you let everyone know how they can find you?
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap this thing up.
Okay. My name is Bethany Johnson. I live in Orlando, Florida. My
What's your
husband's
social
name is Bobby.
security?
Yeah.
3280.
No.
I post everything usually on Instagram. Walking Dog Training is where you can find me.
Yay. Yep. And we will find you.
That's like what she sounded like.
I love that. Ooh, ah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you so much for being on with us. We really appreciate it. It's been an honor to have you on and just here with us and visiting and doing everything together. It's fun.
So much fun.
We miss Bobby. Bobby, for listening.
Yes.
Miss you, bro.
Love you, Bobby.
And to all of you listeners, you know what to do. Share this. Give it a 5 stars. If you don't give it a 5-star, just stop listening.
Yeah, don't.
There's
just
no reason for you to
don't even
listen.
hang up the phone right now.
Yeah, like just it's done. Click, pause, and get out of here. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.